Roger Bannister limbers up for a planned attack on that 4-minute mile. Three minutes, 59.4 seconds, the Everest of athletic achievement.
No human is limited. Any human being can go beyond his limits. Any human being can go beyond his thoughts. Any human being can break what other people think is impossible. It means it can go beyond athletics. It can go beyond the sport. It can go beyond the family, and it can go beyond the professional way.
Hearty welcome to the Ineos 159 live stream as the team and Elliot arrives here in Austria, in Vienna. On today's show, we will bring you why we are in Vienna, how is Elliot getting on, and of course how we cover the race, and of course how is Elliot like outside the track. And we want to introduce you this special runner with a video. Who is Elliot Kipchoge?
The last bend in a second, and he'll see the finish line ahead of him. Look at the crowds here. Elliot Kipchoge. Nobody has done that before.
If we talk about Elliot, I think it's very important to say he's not just falling from the sky. He was in 2003 already world champion in Paris. His career is already 16, 17 years old, so in 16, 17 years of hard training.
He's won 12 out of the 13 marathons that he's run. He's unbeaten since April 2014.
He is 3 times Abbott World Marathon Major World Champion, current world record holder, Olympic champion. He is absolutely the GOAT of marathon running, the greatest of all time.
Elliot is extremely consistent in his life and in his running.
He's very disciplined, obviously unbelievable talented, nice, humble, beautiful person, and excellent athlete. And I think especially the thing about him is his incredible working ethic.
Elliot is the greatest marathon runner of all time. He's potentially the greatest athlete of all time.
Life is not about the stardom. It's about going through the normal routine of your life, just like any other ordinary person. And that brings the motivation to a very, very high level for the young athletes, because they see this guy, he's here with us, he's eating with us, so why should I be different?
I totally believe in myself, believe in my technical team, believe in my teammates, believe in my training, and that's what pushes me beyond the barrier.
Elliot said many times, 100% of me is nothing compared to 10% of the group. He is carrying with him values that all of us in whatever level in our society or in life can learn something from.
This is a man that 365 days in a year focuses on just running.
And when you see him run and when you see how he glides down the course and his humility as an individual and that mental strength that he has, a very Zen-like character.
He's almost in a meditation state as he's running, and you can see his mind is so strong.
Let alone his physiology is unbelievable, but that mental side and that strength will be a key part, especially when it really starts to hurt in October.
He's one of the only athlete in the world capable of doing this. This is one man trying to run under 2 hours, which has never been done before in the history of mankind.
You know, we believe sometimes up to a certain point. Maybe we believe in things up to 80%. But the level of belief he has is 100%.
This will be really a great inspiration for everybody in the world. Once you believe in something and get committed to it, everything is possible.
I don't believe in a limit. And that's why I'm always say, I'll be running my own race. I'll be actually try to maintain all possible, but break 2 hours.
With us is now Peter, Eliud Kipchoge's physiotherapist. You have a long-term personal relationship to him?
Yes, I've had a relationship with him for the last 16 to 17 years now.
So accompanying all his successes at London Marathon, Berlin Marathon, World Championship and Olympics?
Yes, I've been there with him.
How is he physical now at the moment? Can you tell us something about that?
Well, he's quite good, physically fit, more than I have seen him before, yes.
Focused, especially focused?
Mentally focused, physically fit, and literally raring to go.
Is there any special way you let the focus, especially in the last weeks or last week or last 3 days, especially on that, the preparation?
Yes, essentially to fine-tune him, to make sure that his muscles, his joints are all flexible, well-tuned, ready for the race. And that is something we do in every session that I conduct with him.
And preparation was at home in Kenya?
Yes, in Kaptagat.
In his village where he's grown up, or where he know every track, every step?
Away from his village where he's grown up, about 100 kilometers to the training camp.
So, were there any complaints, any problems in the last 48 hours, or probably 2 weeks ago?
None at all. We have been very fortunate. We have not had any complaints of any sort that would really put us into a worrisome situation. No.
Is the preparation for you as physiotherapists different from any other races before? As well for you as physiotherapist, you're making something different in the preparation, in the warm-up programs, in all the other things?
Nothing really very special that we have done specifically for this particular event, but what there is that during this particular session, we have included an exercise program twice a week, besides what he does on track or on the training grounds that he does. So he joins with a group and they do an exercise program for about 1 hour.
What do you think is the toughest part in this race, on the marathon track?
The toughest part is towards the end, of course, when all muscles are fatigued, tired, and you're mentally now growing as well fatigued towards the end of the race, from kilometer 38, I guess so. But we are prodding on to him, and I know he knows his stuff to remain focused, alert, and run.
How does he spend the last night before the race, the last evening or the last 6 hours before?
He's relaxed, sleeps early, and again wakes up early to take his breakfast, and then proceed on to the warming track.
Would you say he's ready for the race?
Yes, I would say so. Yes, he's ready for the race.
So thanks, Peter. And the importance of Vienna, and especially the weather conditions, we also bring you closer in a special video.
Thank you.
We did a pretty comprehensive search, and we had some criteria that was set by the performance team and by Eliud himself in terms of what he was looking for. And they ranged from sort of climactic conditions and environmental conditions, so things like heat, temperature, precipitation, wind.
For the challenge, we have 3 decisions to make. One is 7 days before the event, Eliud Kipchoge starts flying and traveling to Vienna. The second one is deciding the day on which the event will take place, and after that point in time he will start loading his nutrition to get ready for the event. And the third and final decision is then shortly before the event to decide at the time of the day when the race will be. If we see that the weather is not in the norm, then we will advise to hang on and wait a little bit. The final decision really depends very much on the weather regime in which we are. If we have a particular high pressure situation, and so it probably will be as early as possible so that he has the coolest conditions. If it is a more humid day, typically humidity will go down as the temperature increases. We will try to do it as late as possible. For humidity, we want something like 80% humidity. And for the temperature, it's a range of around 10 degrees, where he feels most comfortable.
Not only is it stable weather conditions, but we have a course that only has an incline of 2.4 meters. It is probably the straightest piece of road I have ever seen. The quality of the air in the Prater area of Vienna is stunning.
In Vienna, so we considered many things. You don't want too much altitude, or you want a place where you are a bit protected, if it is possible, by the environment.
We wanted the credibility and authenticity and the familiarity for people who are marathon fans and watch marathons regularly to see something that is absolutely part of their sport, and that's what we feel Vienna offers us.
With us is now Fran Miller, CEO of Ineos. Heartily welcome to Vienna as well. You have been here already at the test event 1 month ago. What has been Ineos' involvement?
Well, I'm a CEO of Team Ineos, so I work for the cycling team, and we were asked to get involved by Ineos, the company who the entire project is the brainchild of, basically. So back at Christmas time, Jim Ratcliffe, who is the CEO and chairman of the Ineos company, decided that he wanted to do something that would challenge the sort of human imagination. And so he has got behind this project. He's pulled all the experts together to run the project. He's found the athletes to do the project, and has funded the entire thing. So Ineos are absolutely woven into the fabric of the entire event.
Sounds it's also what has already been a lot of work.
A huge amount of work, but an incredible project. It's been fantastic and really exciting to be involved in it. There's some of the best people and best minds in the world who've been involved and got together, and we've had some phenomenal involvement from Vienna and the Vienna City Marathon. And yeah, it's been a huge amount of work, but very, very enjoyable and very exciting.
That's a question a lot of people are asking that. Why has Ineos got interested in this big project?
Well, I think the fantastic thing about Ineos as a business is that it's relatively young. It's only been going for just over 20 years, but it's absolutely pioneered and broken new grounds. And as a business, they do incredible things, and they've built incredible things, and they've challenged what people believe is possible. And I think what Jim is looking to do now is really move sport forward and move people's imagination forward. And what better than to get behind a project where we're really challenging the last great human barrier of endurance. So I think Ineos just saw a real passion and excitement to do it and thought, actually, this is the time to do it.
It's especially important to attempt that Elliot got this challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it feels like a really unique moment in time. Elliot's the athlete of a generation. The city have really got behind him. It's an opportunity that we think can't be missed and is too good to be missed. So now we've just got to make sure we deliver that sub 2.
Did you find the time in the meantime to run here on this special course already, on this area?
So I am a cyclist, so I haven't run on the course yet, but I have ridden the course extensively, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've loved being in Vienna and I've loved seeing it. I have to say, if we were going to pick a course to do an event like this, I don't think you could find one better. It is absolutely beautiful and incredible to be part, what feels like at the heart of a real sporting community when you're on the Hochtalje.
Because we're going to watch now a video how Elliot arrived this morning here in Vienna, how it was on the training session. Fran Miller, is there already a decision taken when the race takes part, on which day, on which hour, about concerning all the weather conditions?
Yeah, the very exciting news is that we had a meeting at 1:30 this afternoon and have decided we will definitely be making the attempt on Saturday morning, the 12th of October. The time is still to be decided. We have a window in the morning that the Vienna authorities have given us that is the optimal times for Elliot to run, and that will be decided about 24 hours prior to the event. So I'm sure that if everyone who's watching tunes in, they'll know exactly when to come and see.
This procedure is very special.
It is, yeah. It's a really, really complex bit of work. And I mean, I'm personally incredibly surprised by how much goes into it. We're looking at 4 key components in terms of choosing the select time. So the wind, how high the wind speed will be, the precipitation, so likelihood of rain, which we've now established, fingers crossed, there will be no rain on Saturday. Humidity, which is incredibly important. I've heard that Vienna can be a foggy city at this time of year, so making sure we choose a time that when it's not going to be foggy. And then the temperature. Obviously, Elliot has a preferred temperature to run in, so we have a window to make sure that we are running the entire marathon duration in a temperature that he's comfortable running in. So as long as we can get those, we'll get the time.
The race course is still ready?
Absolutely ready. I mean, I sort of rode down here today for this, and there's still a few barriers going up, but I'm pretty sure it will all be finished by tomorrow when we start our real training sessions.
So thanks to Fran Miller. And by the way, you know, this is called the Heart of the Vienna City Marathon that takes part here annually since 1984. And so we now are going to watch a video about Vienna's running culture. This is the turning point of the Ineos 159 challenge, the end of this Fahrhalle, the Prater Hauptallee, the roundabout at the Lusthaus. And this is very well known by everybody who runs in Vienna through all the years, because it's used by a lot of people for recreation, for running. In 1984, the Vienna City Marathon turns here as well. In 1978, for instance, Henry Rohner from Kenya was running in the Prater area a new world record over 10,000 meters. And so we are looking forward to nearly 20,000 spectators to follow the Ineos 159 challenge, to see a new historic world record by all the running tradition we have now in Vienna. With us is now Gerhard Wehr. He is responsible for the organization of the Vienna City Marathon, who hosts this event and support the Ineos organization and this event. When did Ineos approach you to run this event and to make that possible?
We've had the first contact end of May. On the 3rd of June, we had the first delegation here in Vienna, and from that time on, it went very, very quickly. We had a lot of works to do, and now we are standing here. We have one test event behind us, and we have the Saturday in front of us.
Is there a special interest to make this possible?
Special interest, yeah, there are different kind of special interests. It is one of the biggest challenges we've ever had here in Vienna in terms of marathon running. We all know that this is a once-in-a-lifetime challenge, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of history, and it's the Vienna City Marathon who's in the lead in terms of organization. We are very, very proud of it, to be chosen as the city where this challenge will take place, and as the organizers to support the project from an organizational perspective.
You have a lot of experience with organizing a marathon with over 40,000 participators. What's the difference to organize an event like this?
The main difference, Martin, is that we are talking about a single runner with a set of pacemakers. And during the Vienna City Marathon, we are speaking about a set of 40,000 runners in many different events. The race itself is therefore longer. The leaders and the last runners, there is a difference of about 10 kilometers or maybe even more. Here we have just a very short group of runners. They are more quicker than all others. And there are some other specialities, and there is a kind of a science approach to running, which we've never had before.
I would say we invite all the people to come to expect something special.
That's for sure. So everyone who has ever had a running shoe on his or her feet, it's an absolute must to come here, to watch that race, to be part of it. You can tell your children in 20 years that you are still, you have been part of it, and it will be a great, great show, I'm sure.
Thanks, Gerhard. We just received the information, of course, that Ineos 159 Challenge takes place on Saturday, 12th October in the morning hours. If you live in Austria, you can watch it live on ORF, on the sports channel, on ORF Sport Plus all the time, live and, of course, on the 159 challenge on a special live stream on Saturday, 12th October to make running history. And of course, Thursday, midday, 12 p.m., Eliud Kipchoge's international press conference here behind in this special 159 challenge palace. See you.